Hello, hello, hello. It's Tina from CNC Designs. Happy Friday, everybody. Let me see if I can pull us up on the page. Let me do some housekeeping and turn my computer down so I don't get echoes. As you come in, if you see that red live button above my head, that means that you have caught me live. Please say hello in the comments so that I can say hello back to you. If you do not see that red live button, that means you're catching me on replay. In that case, please put in hashtag replay and say hello so that I can say hello back. So let me see if I can pull us up and we can get started. I think. Let me see. Hi Tina, how are you? Thank you for joining us. I'm looking for us on the page so I can see comments and then we can get started, guys. How is everybody doing? I hope your Friday is great. Welcome to the weekend. I'm so excited. Where are we? Okay, I think I found us. Okay, here we go. Hello, Miss Patterson. How are you, my friend? So we're going to be working on a little craft tonight. I have a friend of mine who is a person like me who loves Christmas, and her daughter wants her own tree in her room this year, so she's doing a snowman tree. So she asked me to create something to go on her daughter's nightstand. So we're going to do a little snowman frame tonight, and we're working with this printable. I've already put it on a backing sheet already on the back. So it's down. We're gonna do a little bit more embellishment on that. And we're going to be putting it into this frame. But of course, you know, we gotta paint the frame because we just can't leave it the way it is. And we're gonna be working with a few IOD mold embellishments. So I'm gonna put these little, they're like little pine cone leaves, and it's so delicate. And I want to put them on the frame, and then we're going to be adding some little greenery trees in the bottom, and hopefully it'll be cute for her room. How's everybody doing today? You got a headache? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I hope that gets better real soon. I definitely, when I get stressed, I get stress headaches. But I'm the type of person that even though I work in healthcare, I don't like to take medicine. So I'll try, you know, to relax, try to do some meditation or something, you know, do something that brings me joy to try to relieve some of that tension, because I just don't like taking medicine. And sometimes if my pressure is high, I'll get headaches. And I can always tell when my pressure is high because that's like usually one of the telltale signs for me. Now this is so delicate. I don't want to break it. I just want to kind of drape it on the sides here. I got this little piece hanging over. I got this mold from IOD. Y'all know I love IOD molds. And this one has these pine cones in them. I can't wait to cast that. So we will definitely be doing something with that. Let me see if I can, they don't really have a great picture on here. but it has like the pine cones and the little leaves. And this piece is right over here. So that's the piece that we're gonna be casting on the frame tonight. My goodness, they're so fragile. Hello, Robin Song, how are you? Guys, if you are not following Robin Song, you are missing a treat. Make sure you do a like and a follow. You're gonna be absolutely amazed. Let me see if I can get this on here. I think I want to cast this one going up. Y'all. Sometimes if they come apart, you can just lightly press it back together. Gotta be real careful with them because it is clay. I like to use clay. I see a lot of people using resin. I love the look of resin, but I'm afraid of resin because it is, I read so much about the toxicity of it that I'm like, and I live in an apartment, so I don't want to be casting it in my house and then have those fumes all over the house. So I'll stick to my clay. Although I've seen a lot of creators now using glue from the hot glue gun in the molds. But that just seems like a lot of work to me. I'm like, I don't even know if I have that kind of strength in my hands to be pressing on the glue gun that long. But one day maybe I'll try it. Oh yeah, blood pressure was good. Okay, so this is what we have on our frame. And I want to paint this frame this pretty green. This was actually a sample. I went to Home Depot and picked out one of those paint chips, the little sample cards, and I had them make up this color green for me. I haven't used it in a while, and it looks like it. I got all this extra paint gook hanging around in here. So I'm gonna see how this looks on the frame. Yeah, I like this color. This gold, it's a pretty frame, but this gold is just too goldy for me. I don't like that bright gold. You gotta be careful when you're putting it on the mold. I like to paint on the mold while it's still kind of malleable because it's easier to put it onto the piece and mold it while it's soft than if you wait till it gets hard. Then you're gonna have a hard time trying to get it on the mold. So we're just gonna give it a light coat, and then we're gonna do a dry and go back in and probably give it a second coat. Hopefully it'll only take 2 coats. I see it going around on my inside. That wasn't my thought to paint the inside of the frame, but it looks like I probably will be because it's dripping down inside. So what you guys do today? Anybody do anything exciting today? I worked. That's always an adventure. I wouldn't necessarily say it's exciting, but it's definitely an adventure. Okay. Let's see. can sit this here. Let's see if we can get a little heat on here, and then we can go back in and add another coat. I have to tell y'all about I don't know if you saw on my page, but you know, I'm a Magnolia Design Co. rep, and I was selected as one of the creators to help design a stencil. And my stencil came out in this month's catalog. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it, but this is my stencil. And it's in my shop. I designed that. It's a church, and it says, "In Christ alone my hope is found." And it has two sayings, and the other one says, "Let not your heart be troubled." I cannot wait till mine comes in the mail. I'm gonna do a class and invite some of my loyal friends and followers to come to the class and see what we can do with that stencil. Hopefully we'll create a couple of things. Thank you so much, Miss Patterson. I was so excited. I was like, oh my goodness, my stencil made it. So I'm excited to see what kinds of ideas I come up with using that stencil. And it's just in time for Christmas, because that is the real reason for the season. So I'm excited. I think we might. I think I need to shake this paint up. Hi Karen, how are you? Thank you for watching. We're just working on a, hello Deb, how are you? We're working on a cute snowman frame tonight with this printable. I've already put it on the backing that goes inside the frame. We'll do a little bit more embellishment on him. And I've just added some IOD molds around the frame from one of the new IOD releases that just came out. Still feel a little moist over here. Okay, let me get this out of the top so that I can try and shake this paint up. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm a mess, y'all. I am a mess. I'm gonna try and see if I can shake it up a little bit. And like I said, this was a color green that I picked out of one of those paint swatches in Home Depot. And it's not a dark green, it's not really a forest green, it's just a real pretty soft green. This is the kind of green that if I'm gonna put green ornaments in my tree, I like this green as opposed to that bright traditional Christmas green. I don't really care too much for that green, but this is a pretty color. I'm gonna try and go over once more with the brush And then I'm gonna try and see what I can do with my little pouncer brush. Because you gotta be really careful with these clay pieces that I don't break any off. And since I got some on the inside already, I might as well just go in and paint the inside of this frame. And then we're gonna paint, of course, the outside. And do a little bit of embellishment. Y'all, I don't know how many of you know, I live in New York. And I just learned that there is a Hobby Lobby in the city in Manhattan. So y'all know what I'm gonna do this weekend, right? I'm going hunting for that Hobby Lobby. Because when I shop in Hobby Lobby, most times I'm buying my stuff online because there's not a store any very close to me. But if there's one in Manhattan, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that I found that out, because I could just see me now. There goes me crafting my stash. All year I've been saying I'm trying to use what I have. I don't want to buy anymore. And then one of my coworkers told me today that there's a Hobby Lobby in Manhattan. I don't know if that's good or bad. Okay, let's see what we can do with this pouncer brush. Especially in these little ridges. Sometimes these brushes work better because it really gets the paint down in those grooves. Hello, Miss Mays. Leave my credit cards home. I know, girl. I was like, ugh. And I really do not need to be going to Hobby Lobby, but you know I'm gonna go find it. I'm hoping that it's gonna be nice, but honestly speaking, in the city, I definitely don't imagine that it's anything like you would see, you know, in the outside of the city, because it can only be so big, is what I'm thinking anyway. I know Michael's here. They don't have a lot of stuff. So I'm hoping Hobby Lobby has a lot of, a lot of great crafting stuff in there and not so much home stuff, because that's what usually happens when those kind of stores come to the city. The home stuff sells more, so they really don't carry a lot of the craft items. But I'll let y'all know how it goes, for sure. If it's really nice, I don't know, I might go live so I can show y'all what they got in there. Because even Dollar Tree's here. I see people buying online stuff that they find in Dollar Tree. They don't have that stuff in the Dollar Trees here in the city. Believe it or not, Dollar Trees here in the city have a lot more, like, food stuff. I see a lot of people buying a lot of, like, food items now in Dollar Tree. I've never really purchased food in Dollar Tree. Like, I bought a soda or something like that if I'm thirsty, but I haven't purchased groceries out of there. But I see a lot of people in there buying them. Okay, this is definitely coming out much better than the paintbrush did, and it's actually giving it a little bit of texture. It's looking like it's got a little texture on the sides there, so it's definitely gonna take more than one coat, because I can still see that gold peeping through. Not that it's bad, but it's just too bright. I don't like this bright gold. We'll probably put some gold on it anyway, because you guys know me. But I just don't like this tone. Usually I would take a sanding block and kind of scuff the frame up a little bit so the paint has something to stick to. But I didn't do that with this one. So that's probably another reason why it's taking so much coats to cover it. I'm still seeing little specks. See a little bit in there, but I'm loving this color. Let me try and do this piece here. What you guys eat for dinner tonight? I just realized just before I was going on, well, my stomach made me realize that I didn't eat anything. So if y'all hear my stomach growling, just act like you don't hear it. Because I did not eat any dinner. I came in here and started talking to my son. My son surprised me and came home last night. So I was catching up with him and I didn't eat anything. And now my stomach is letting me know that I didn't feed it. Hello, Belinda. Hi, Karen. Did I say hello to you? Thank you for joining us. We're making a little winter snowman frame. I have a girlfriend who has a little girl, and her daughter wants her own tree in her room this year, so she's doing a snowman themed tree because the little girl loves snowmen, and she asked me to make something to go on her nightstand next to her tree. So we're doing this little frame. We're using this printable that I've already put on the frame backing. And he has some green in there in his scarf and his hat, so I figured this paint color would go well with the printable. Oh, I did? Y'all, today when I left my house, it was so chilly. I had a jacket on, I had my blazer on with my slacks. It was really, really chilly. The trains and the subways here, they haven't turned off the air conditioner yet, so I was freezing. By afternoon, oh my goodness, I was ready to literally strip because, you know, I'm having those challenges and at this point in my life. And when that sun started shining, oh my goodness. I'm like, you know, nobody warned me about this. Everybody just talked to me about, you know, the typical things that happen when you get to this age, you know, the night sweats and, but let me tell you something. It's a whole other beast. There's no adequate way to describe it, the changes that I'm going through. I forget things. It's just, it's bad. It's really bad. Am I the only one that am I suffering alone or you guys experience these same things? I feel like nobody talks about these things enough to women. You know, nobody prepares you for the changes that you're going to go through. So this is what we have. I see a little bit of gold up there where we put our clay mold. So I'm going to try and tackle that and see if I can cover those areas. Even though I am going to take my gold paint, because you guys know I love that. My favorite folk art gold paint. and add some of that to it, but I just don't want this gold showing. I'm trying not to press too hard because our mold is still soft, so I don't want to lose the detail in the mold. Let me see if maybe I can do it with this little paintbrush. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that actually is working out well. Little spot there. So y'all remember to get your stencil and craft with me with the stencil that I designed for Magnolia. For those of you who have just joined, this is my stencil design that came out. It's in this month's catalog. It's in the shop now. And I'm going to be holding a class soon. And we're going to be creating with that stencil. I'm trying to come up with at least 3 different designs so that if you do decide to purchase, you can get a good bang for your buck out of it. Okay, I think, no, we got some gold showing here still. Definitely some over here. Ugh, Deb, it is horrible. I'm telling you, we need a support group. It's that bad for me. I'm like, I don't understand why women are suffering in silence. They need to be sounding the alarm. We need to be talking about this everywhere. Because I was not ready. I was so not ready for all the changes that's happening to me. It seems like all at once. Even what happened to me with my sciatic nerve, the doctors are telling me that you know, the estrogen depletion is definitely what helped that process along and really made it that much worse for me. And I know, I believe it's true, because there's some days when I get up in the morning and my hips literally hurt. And I've never had this experience before I started going through all these challenges. I'll tell you, it's bad. It's really bad. We're going to try to get this one more dry, and then I want to put some of our gold on here. Here we go here. Then we're going to look at this printable, and I definitely want to do some paint splatters on it. I want to see if I could add some dimensional paint to make those snowflakes stand up a little bit off the page. We started taking... Oh, I need to get me some of those. I definitely need to get that. I think I saw something. I don't know if it was... I know I saw that name Azo on Amazon in the like the vitamin sections, but I didn't pay attention to what it was for. Let's put this here. I'm like literally ready to write a book. Warning. women 40 and over. Let me tell you the things that nobody else told me. Okay, so that's what we have there. I'm telling you, it's bad. It's really bad. And I think this is going to look really nice together. So let's just sit this over here for a minute. And let's look at our printable while we let this settle for a few minutes. So this printable has like little snowdrops in it, snowflakes, and I want to see what I can do and try to make them stand up a little bit. Oh, you found them in Walmart? I definitely need to look into it because I need something. Because this is just not, I don't know how people live like this. I really don't. I have some, this is called Slick. It's fabric paint, but it's dimensional paint. So I want to see if I can kind of make those little snowflakes on his hat stand up a little bit. I don't want to do too many, but just to give it a little bit more dimension. And I also want to try some paint splatters, but because this is dimensional, these will be standing up a little bit more than the paint splatters. Need to do this upright so they won't spread out. And that's cute. So now you can see them, I hope you can see them standing up a little bit more off the paper. Right up in his hat, I put a few of them in there. I have some white paint here, so I'm gonna see if I can thin it out a little bit. We got some left in the cap with some water and do a little bit of paint splatter. So we're gonna take a fan brush and spread this around a little bit. It's still a little too thick, I think. Let me test it here first. I don't want big drops, so okay, I think that's enough. I might even try to add some green splatters in there as well, just to give it some more dimension. So now you can see them on the printable. Try to get a few of the green just because it'll really carry back to that frame. I think I got a little bit on my frame here. Yeah, I did. Let me wipe this top out. Hello, Miss Pranger. How are you? Thank you for watching. This printable is from I got it from Etsy. I've had it for a while. I'll go back into my purchases and put a link in for you guys. There's a couple of snowmen that come with it. This was just one of them. Okay. So now let's look at this green paint and see. Let's get a little bit of green splatters going. What that looks like. I just want a few of them, not too many. And primarily like up in the corners. Okay, so now we've got a little bit of those green splatters mixed in with that white. I really like that. Let's get a little bit of heat on here. Thank you for those hearts. And I put my printables down, especially on things like this, on this type of frame backing. I just use it with a glue stick. I didn't use any Mod Podge or anything like that. And with the glue stick, it works fabulous. I don't have to worry about wrinkles. I love my glue sticks. You guys, if you've been watching me, you know I will definitely, if I can get away with using a glue stick, I'm going to try that before Mod Podge any day. Yeah, I said when I go, Deb, I said I'm going to try, if I want to do a live so you guys can see what's in there. I know it's not going to be like out of state, because out of state, Hobby Lobbies, Dollar Trees, all of them, they're just so much better than New York City. New York City, a lot of people don't craft. They buy like a lot of the home stuff. So I'm imagining that it's probably going to have a lot of home things, but I don't think the craft section is going to be too big. I'm hoping at least they have some Christmas stuff there. But I want to go check it out, because the only time I get to go to Hobby Lobby most times is when I go up to see my son who's away in college. Even though there's one, I think, in Jersey. But even that is not like the ones out of state. Every time I go south to see my family in North Carolina or visit my brother in Atlanta, I always take like an extra suitcase. Well, I used to take an extra suitcase. Now I go to Hobby Lobby when I visit my brother, or make him take me to their craft stores, and then I mail stuff home to myself. Because you just can't find the things here that people find in other states. Okay. So let's sit this over here and let's bring this frame back. And I definitely want to add some rub and buff onto these pine leaves, even though pine leaves aren't gold, but I think it's gonna help bring out that detail a lot more. So, let me see if I can find my rub and buff. I know it should be on this tray somewhere. Hi, Jackie Blewett, how are you? 110 miles? Do you actually go visit the Hobby Lobby? You know, I like Hobby Lobby, but I don't know if I'd be driving that far. I do find, I've been lucky enough though, that most of the time when I see people with things that from Hobby Lobby that I like, when I go online, I've been fortunate enough a lot of times to find it online. Sometimes if I can't find it online and it's something I really, really want, I'll ask one of my other craft friends who lives out of state if they could pick something up and send it to me in the mail. But only real crafters understand that. Because my brother doesn't even understand it. When I tell him, he's like, oh no, I can't do that. I'm not going to the store looking for this. First of all, I'm going to buy the wrong thing. And my daughter is the same way. When I ask her, even here, I'm like, if you go to Dollar Tree and you see this, can you pick it up? I'll send her pictures. Mom, I'm not going to Dollar Tree, and if I do, I really don't think I'm going to be walking around there looking for that. But my son, that's my boy. He'll look for stuff. Sometimes he'll see things and, Mom, would you like this? So you see how those pine pieces, those clay pieces are really popping off that frame? I miss you too, Jackie. How are you? How's everybody? How is your daughter? I hope everyone is well. I'm going to add a little bit of this around this frame, especially around this little beaded edge here. And then we'll look at it and see what else it needs. Yeah, that really, really is making this look nice. So you see how it just brings out all that little gold beading around that edge there? I really, really like that. I think we'll add a little bit more down here. Not too much. Should we put some on the sides? And I want to take our gold paint because I like to finish all around my edges. So I'm going to take the gold paint and my spatula and do my little splatterings of that. I'm going to just use these little palette knives from Dollar Tree. Just going to put a little bit here on my pad. And then I just take my little spatula and just kind of just dab it up and down, pounce it up and down. And then we're just going to drag it across and hit it in certain spots. We don't want a lot of paint. We just want to pay some attention to these sides. So when you're looking at this frame, it looks like all the areas were addressed. Sometimes I'll take a stamp and we'll stamp around there. So you see, we just hitting it in spots just to give it some of that gold color. Tiffany, yes. That is awesome. What you said? I have had, oh my goodness, Jackie. I'm sending love, hugs, and prayers, sweetie. Gee whiz. 7. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad to know that Miss Tiffany is doing well in school. That is awesome. Oh, thank you, Deb. What I'm doing now with this little palette knife, you guys know this is one of my favorite things to do because there is no right or wrong, but it really looks like you've paid attention to all of the areas. Yes, honey, Jackie Blewett. If you guys don't know, I do make wreaths. I still make wreaths, and Jackie is who I learned how to make a wreath from. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care who else is out there making wreaths. Jackie Blewett, hands down, is the best teacher. She makes, her wreaths are immaculate. The attention to detail that Jackie puts in her wreaths, there's nobody out here making wreaths that pays attention to their work the way Jackie does. I mean, the way she lays her ribbon, the way she teaches you how to fold the ribbon and really make your bow fluff. It's just, I have not seen anybody teach the way Jackie teaches. And Jackie, believe me, I am not saying that just because you're here, because I say it even when you're not here. She is amazing. Most of these people out here making wreaths now probably have learned from Jackie. They may not tell you that, but I'm pretty sure that that's where they learned it from, or they've tried to learn, because their work does not look like Jackie's work. Nobody's work looks like Jackie's work, honestly. But the techniques that she teaches, hands down, nothing like it. Nobody does it better. So this is what we have now. This frame looks 1,000 times better to me. I love it now. I did not like that gold color before, but I'm in love with this now. I'm looking at this picture. I do have some of my oxides. You know how I love those. I think I'm gonna just go around these edges at least. You might not see them, honestly, because it's probably gonna be in the frame, but just in case. Yeah. That is awesome. I love that. Let's see. Did you guys know that now you can be an affiliate in Magnolia? You can sign up under me as an affiliate. It doesn't cost you anything, but as an affiliate, you get your own website like mine. And if you just share the Magnolia information, and if people want to purchase Magnolia stencils and they purchase from your affiliate site, you get commission off of it. And it costs you nothing. You don't have to go live. I go live using the product anyway. So if you join as an affiliate under me, you can send your customers my way to learn how to work, how to create with the stencils, and they can learn that way. They can get ideas that way, and you get a percentage off of everything that they make. So this is what we have so far. You see how that green really makes that snowman pop. I really love the way that looks there. I may put some type of gloss sealer on it. I'm not sure yet. But I also have these little pieces of greenery that came off of a Hobby Lobby swag that I think this is all I have left is these two pieces. So I'm definitely going to be looking to see if I can find something like this when I go there. And my thought was to put one of these pieces on here to act kind of as a Christmas tree on the side. So we're going to do that. And then, of course, we're going to put a little bit of gold on those tips. Or maybe some white to make it look like it's a little snow. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. And then I have some ribbon. I thought I had some green ribbon, but I don't. So I'm thinking we'll see what it looks like to try to put just a little 2-loop bow there at the base of the tree. We'll see how that goes. Oh yeah, I was saying this paint, I went into Home Depot and pulled out one of the swatches and picked the green that I liked and asked them to make me the little trial things, you know, the trial container. And this is definitely, if you're a crafter, this is more than enough paint, because this is, I think, a year that I've been using this, and I don't even think I'm halfway through this bottle. So if you ever are looking for a color and you can't really find the exact color, go to Home Depot, walk through the paint section, and pick out one you like. They'll mix it up, ask them to give you a sample jar, and there you've got your own color that you can't buy in the craft store, so you won't see a lot of people using the same color. And almost every time I do something like that and I use a paint that I've had mixed like that, somebody always is like, where did you get that paint color? I had a pretty blue that I did last year because my son wanted a navy blue in the Christmas tree. And of course, I couldn't find navy blue ornaments. So I went to Home Depot once again and picked out a paint swatch, had them make up the color blue that I wanted, and those ornaments came out absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna just shave a little bit of this off. This is one of those I got Hobby Lobby on the brain. This is a Dollar Tree chippy brush, and I'm just sticking it. I have some white paint mixed with some of that Dollar Tree plaster, and I'm just dabbing some onto the brush because I want to see if I can brush some of this onto this to make it look like this little tree has a little bit of snow on it. And because this has texture, I'm hoping that it will stick to it and look a little more dimensional than just plain paint. Yeah, that's the look we're going for. So you see how it's sitting up on the tree. It really looks like snow. It doesn't look like it's paint on there. Hi Shirley, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Let's see if our glue gun is ready. I'll put some glue on here. I see a glue string already hanging. Let's see here. I'm gonna try and see if I can make a little bow. I think this is a little too long. Let me cut these on a slant. Jackie's watching me. I gotta act like I know how to cut ribbon, like I remember how to cut ribbon. It's definitely you can't do a dovetail with this, but it does make a difference when you cut that ribbon. And don't just do a blunt cut because it's not gonna look good. I could have cut this even more, but let's see. I'll even that out in a sec. Okay, I think this is gonna look really cute in her room. say, Jackie, about the blunt cut on the ribbon? Let me see. They call you the OG of wreath making. I missed that one. You don't like painting, Jackie? You know what? I feel like you would be good at it. I really do. Because you definitely have an eye for color and patterns, and the way you put together the different patterns that match in wreaths is like unmatched. I think you would be really good at it. Really? That I did not know. See? Still learning. Still a student, Jackie. So this is what we have so far. And I do have some little flat cabochon beads that I think may work as some ornaments. So give me 1 second, guys. Where are they? I'm coming, ladies. I don't see them. I can't find them. Let's see what we have in here, if we have any in here. No. Here and there. Maybe that heart might work or something. I know I have a bunch of little flat cabochon beads somewhere around here. You know how that always is. Whenever you're looking for it, you can't find it. Then when you're not looking for it, then it appears. A little tiny iridescent cabochons. I don't see any here. Okay, well. Let's put a little bit more snow on our tree. Especially over here. Okay. I have this heart. I want to put something in the center of that bowl. That's a little too big. Oh, we got a nice little cute button here. That might work. Oh, I figured you could. I figured you could. You just don't enjoy it as much. Yeah, I can understand that. My problem is I enjoy everything. I want to do a little bit of everything. And now I have a house full of crafts. Okay, guys. I cut these the wrong way. This is not looking right to me. Much better. Okay, so here is our little snowman frame for my little friend's room. I think that's gonna be so cool. Do you guys think we need anything else on here? I'm wondering. Y'all know it's never enough for me. I'm always being extra. Let's see what. A little bit of snow would look like if we, would it look like snow if we put a little bit in those corners. What do you think? No? Yes? No? Oh my goodness, Jackie, I used to live in Germany, and I used to work in a craft shop. And I used to do the pottery wheel, and we used to do ceramics. I absolutely loved ceramics. Oh my goodness, I made so many things. I made my brother one year this really, really gorgeous chess set. He still has it to this day. It is gorgeous. I made lamps, I made vases. I wish I was, especially the way that I craft now and knowing what I know now, I wish I was still living or working in that craft shop. The things I would have. Less is more, Deb. I got, I have to remind myself of that because I am the queen of extra. I'll be the first one to tell you that. I love to just keep going and keep going and keep going. Most times it works out. So there we have it. This is our piece for the night. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I hope you come back and watch me again. I will definitely be back on Monday night. I am going to try and come on this weekend because I do have a couple of ornaments that a friend sent me in the kit. And I got my new IOD mold. So I'm definitely ready to tackle making some Christmas ornaments. I love the way that gold looks all around the edge of this frame. It really looks like you've paid attention to every piece of it. So even the bottom of it has the gold on there. This is gonna look really, really cute in her room, and that little bow is just adorable. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a good night. You're jack of all trades. And I hope you come back and watch me on Monday. Until then, you guys have a blessed rest of your night. Have a happy Saturday. And if I come on Sunday, I'll definitely put a post up so you can come back and join me. Take care, everybody. Be good to yourself and be good to others. Love you guys. Bye-bye.